Welcome back, everybody, to another fun gear review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the MARBERO 30W portable folding solar panel model SL30W. It comes in this wonderful plain box you see before you. Let me get into some of the specs here as I get it out of the box. A very nice little setup. And a little instruction manual. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. Dimensions on this solar panel. When it's folded, it's 13.9 inches by 9.84 inches by 1.7 inches at its thickest point. There's a little pocket on the back that makes it wide in one spot. In metric, that's 35.3 by 24.9 by 4.3 centimeters. Unfolded, it is 13.9, this length here, by 34.8 by 1 inch. So pretty large unfolded. In metric, that is 35.5 by 88.3 by 2.5 centimeters. List weight is 2.6 pounds or 1.179 kilograms, which we will be taking a look at that to see if that is accurate or not. First, let's take a look at the user manual here. That's pretty straightforward. At any time, you can pause this and read any of that should you choose. It's pretty short and to the point. And that's it. Let's get it out here and take a look. Okay. That's one letter away from being a very famous cigarette company the world over, which I find very amusing. Here is that pocket on the back, and that unzips, and they give you an assortment of cables and adapters. So this can be used with multiple different power banks. As you see, you got multiple different hookups here. Now, let's take a closer look at these hookups. See if I can do this one-handed, because I got notes in my other hand because I can't remember all this stuff because I'm an old man. Okay. Specs on these different hookups. You got a DC port, which is this one right here. That one. And that can do 18 volts or 1.6 amps, 30 watts maximum. You got a USB-A port, which is this one here on the very edge. And that can do 5 volts at 2 amps, 9 volts at 2 amps, 15 watts max. You got a USB-A QC 3.0 port, which is this one right here. And that particular one it can do 18 volts at 1.6 amps, 5 volts at 3 amps, or up to 18 watts max. And you got this USB-C right next to the LED here, which is, you can do 5 volts, 3.3 amps, 9 volts, 3.3 amps, up to 30 watts max. So you got a lot of options here for the output. And I'm going to test a few of those for my use. Let's get these adapters and cables out that come with it. Let's take a look at what they gave you. Oh man, that is quite the variety of DC hookups. And they give this to you so you can use this with multiple different brands of power banks. Oh, and they give you 4 carabiners. That'll come in real handy here in a minute once I unfold this and show you. So we got that. We got those carabiners. Let's take a look at these other cables. All right. Heck yeah. And a DC And that must be used with the different heads. Okay, let me zip this up, and I'm going to briefly unfold it here for you so you can get an idea of what this guy looks like. Look at that. And at each corner we have grommets, so you can hang this off the back of a pack. You could rig this with some lines through these grommets to a tree to get the right angle on the sun. I mean, there's a lot of different options on how you can hook this up. Very cool. All right, let's, and it's Velcro closure, which I like. One thing I do want to point out, according to the manual, there is a chipset in here that detects your device and detects the draw or current, voltage, and amperage your device needs and doesn't exceed that, so you don't get overcharging. I think that's kind of cool. Let me get my scale out here and let's check that weight. We got the scale set up here for kilograms, so let's put this on and see what we got. So just the solar panel, none of the cables, the carabiners, none of that. We're looking at 983 grams. We add that to it, and we're looking at 1.181 kilograms, and the list weight is 1.79 kilograms. So it's a little bit over, and that's okay. If we go to pounds, just the panel, it's looking like it's 2 pounds and 2 5/8 ounces. With the cables and everything, 2 pounds, 9 5/8 of an ounce. Not too bad. This price for this on Amazon right now is like $109.99. I got it on a special with some coupons and such, and I got it for $56 flat, which I think is a pretty good steal for what it is. I'm mainly interested in this as a way to charge up what few devices I do take into the woods long term. Like if I was to go out for a couple weeks, I don't want to come back just because my headlamp is dead, or God forbid I take a cell phone or something like that with me out there and it dies and I need it. I did get this power bank, which I have been using. I do like this power bank, but what happens when the charge in this goes down to nothing? That is where I'm hoping this solar panel comes in. So let's take it outside and let's do some tests. So again, it's another beautiful sunny day. We're going to do some more tests here on the panel. I've got this MC4 cable hooked up and plugged into the panel. So let's get this guy exposed and producing some energy. I have my little multimeter here, and I'm going to go ahead and hook it up to those MC4 connectors, so I'm going to see what kind of voltage output we're getting. We have our multimeter right here, and I got these MC4 connectors. We're going to go ahead and put that in there. Right now we got it set to DC volts, and you can see I got it hooked up. Looks like we got 22.5 volts here in the sun. Whoops. Yep. Not too bad. Let's switch this over to amps and see what kind of amperage we're getting out of this. So I have this all set up for amps now. And let's see. Looks like 1.4 amps. Not too bad for a little folding solar panel. What do you think? All right. The MARBERO solar panel set up out here on this stump top. I got a piece of firewood right here, so it's kind of angled toward the sun, which is this way. It's a nice sunny day. There's really no clouds or anything. I've got my Swiss Tech power bank right down there, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug it in. One thing I do want to show you is you can see very clearly the green light here. So we are getting energy in the solar panel. So we're plugged in. We're going to plug this in to charge it. And it looks like I got 82%. I think that's what's flashing. It's kind of hard to see in the full sunlight. So we're going to set that back down here out of the sun in that little bit of a shadow we got there. And the time is about 3:13. I'm going to go mow the lawn, which usually takes me a little bit more than an hour. We'll come back and we'll see if the battery bank gets fully charged up. Alright, I'll see you then. Well, it is almost 5 o'clock. So it's been out here for a while. Let's see what our charge rate is at. Let's check our guy here. Looks like it's saying 85%, I think. It's hard to see, but I'm just gonna let it go. I still got some more yard work to do, and we'll check on it again here in a little bit. About 16, 18 roughly. I've had to move the panel because the sun is way over there now. We got maybe an hour before sunset, so I got all my yard work done. I'm gonna be heading in to make dinner, so I want to wrap this up. So as you can see, we don't have full light on all the panels. Let's see what our battery is like. 86% it looks like. Alright, so it's still charging. It's still getting some power, just not a whole lot. It is another wonderful sunny day out here. We're doing another test on the solar panel. And first of all, our battery bank, it's right at, see if I can get that going, is right at 86%. And I've got a new charging cable, a USB-C to USB-C boost charging cable that is rated up to 60 watts. Well, this is only a 30 watt panel, so I'm going to hook this up and we're going to see if we can get a little bit better charge time. Okay, we've got the USB-C to USB-C charging cable hooked up. As you can see, we are charging, and the time is what, 12:26, 27 roughly. I got some yard work to go do, so I'm gonna let this charge. I'll check on it periodically, make sure the battery bank stays in the shadow, and we'll see what kind of charge we get in a couple hours. We have been working in the yard here for about an hour. The time is, what, 1:36, going on 1:37. So that's just about exactly an hour. And we are going to check to see what kind of charge we got with this setup. Oh, 89%. I don't know if you can see that clearly. The sunlight is washing out my screen on the camera. 89%. That's 3% in 1 hour. That is awesome. This cable is definitely the way to go. Okay, I'm going to leave this and come back in another hour. I'll see you then. So it has been another hour. The time is 2:36. And we're gonna see where we are energy-wise. What is that? Is that 98? I think that's 98. I don't know if you can see that. My hard for me to see anything in this camera, but it looks like, yep, 98%. Wow. Okay. I am sold. The USB-C to USB-C cable is definitely the way to go to charge this. Alright, let's head back in the house. You got to see the panel in action. I did several tests. I've used it several weeks now, and I'm impressed. I mean, this thing is not that big. In fact, this is as big as I would go for something in a backpack. I wouldn't go any bigger or any heavier. This is the limit for me. I'm already carrying enough stuff. But this thing really works, and it really works well. I'm totally sold. So if you can get it, if you're interested, and you can get it for under list price, hey, go for it. It's always nice to have backups for everything. And another thing I want to point out is just getting the correct cords. Like, I got this USB-C to USB-C. That made all the difference in the world in quick charging my battery bank. That helped a lot. And, you know, an assortment of other cables that didn't come with it. I got this USB to USB-C. I got this splitter, so I could charge more than one device at a time if I used up all the ports. And I got this 10-foot extension cable, which I haven't even used yet. I got to try it. But I mainly got that so I could keep my battery bank out of the sun if I didn't have a shadow to put it in. So, yeah. So, in my final thoughts, you could use this for backpacking. It's a little big. It's as big as I would go. I could see car camping, glamping, that sort of thing, totally. I mean, this thing would be awesome to keep your phone, your battery bank charged, all that stuff. I mean, cell phones are about a dime a dozen these days. Everybody's got one practically. I recently got one. Holy moly, I finally joined the modern age. I don't feel better for it either. I gotta turn it off like almost all the time. But anyway, that's what I would recommend this for. I wouldn't be carrying it every day, but if you were going to be out for an extended period of time, like more than a couple weeks, you might want to get something like this just to keep your phone, your headlamp, and other devices charged up. But that's all I got to say about that. Buy it, don't buy it, that's up to you. I will see you all later on. You, right there. Out in those woods over there. Or maybe those woods over there. Possibly using a solar charger. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful weekend.